You guys have any theories or guesses on what caused these fires?
Oh, well, I've seen a lot of people posting camera footage of homeless people lighting things on fire. Yeah. Like it's not a conspiracy. There's you know, they're like coming to people's backyards, lighting shit up.
Yeah. Well, that's what they say. Like 90% of fires in California are like man-made, right?
That's normal.
They're started purposefully.
Yeah.
The way that some of these fires started spreading, and granted, dude, we go outside right now and there's embers in the air. I don't know. I heard it was a small house fire that got out of control.
Backyard or something.
Which one? The wind was so insane.
I think Palisades.
Palisades. And that the wind was so insane, which it was. It was even insane in Vegas. Like it was 35-mile-an-hour winds in Vegas. And I was even warned that there were going to be 55-mile-an-hour winds. And I think over here they actually were.
They were. They're up to 100
like
in the evening.
We have mountains to break up some of that shit. I think Vegas was lucky. You guys were getting pounded here though.
Yeah. Did you see the Joe Rogan clip?
When he was talking to a firefighter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But a lot of firefighters say the same shit.
They've been saying it. The firefighters been saying that.
They've been saying it.
And they've been saying that we've just been getting lucky. That's all.
And they've been saying the shit about the water reservoir, how we just let rainwater go right in the ocean. We've been talking about that even.
That's a move. That's a business move.
What's the business move on it?
There's one family that controls a fuck ton of the aqueducts here.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and then they own like the Wonderful Company, and they own a lot of farms, and then they want to monopolize that system, but they also use taxes and subsidies to fund their own shit. They control the water supply, but also the state goes into drought mode and things like that. Because you know how we had like hella good recovery a couple of years ago. Or some of the reservoirs and lakes, they surpassed the zones that we had like low levels.
Because we had a bunch of rainwater.
Record rainfall for 2 years.
They dumped a lot of that water into the ocean.
I know.
That's good.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because then they could be like, federal government, we need help, we need money. And then they'll be like, oh, okay, we'll give you some money, California. And that's the racket.
It's FEMA, right? They're like, hey, give us a huge allotment of funds.
We're in trouble, we need money. Yeah. That's really the case.
I saw this interesting video. I think it was on PragerU, but it was like explaining that there's a power grid that is so old. It's like 100 years old of like power lines that goes through like brush and vegetation that's so badly maintained, and it causes actually a lot of fires. But the state just doesn't want to take responsibility, so they just say it's other shit that's causing it.
Look, all I know is we spend. Not me anymore, but billions and billions of dollars on this rail thing that never went through. It seems like everything we fund doesn't go through anyway. And then I saw today Karen Bass talking about how, oh yeah, the $16 million that I cut from the fire actually didn't affect this situation.
Oh, cool.
Good news.
That's good.
And that's all it takes sometimes to really convince some real dumb fucking people out there. Oh, well, the officials said that it doesn't impact anything. You actually could send a link of that to one of your dumb uncles, and they would send you back, oh no, the officials actually proved that that's not true. And it's just, who is the official? Oh, it's the person who is getting the blame, who is deflecting the blame from themselves, like a fucking using a mirror.
But they said it, and if you don't listen, you're a conspiracy theorist and you're crazy.
And you're not listening
Why
to the
would they
official.
lie?
Official sources say.
You see all these interviews with Gavin Newsom, even Joe Biden, Karen Bass, where people are asking them basic questions. Why don't we have water? Why weren't we prepared for this? And they're like, oh no, we were prepared for this.
Then why is it not prepared?
Fact check, we were prepared for this.
That's it. No.
So why are the hydrants off?
Gavin Newsom, in that weird press conference with Joe Biden, they ask him, what did we do to prepare for this? He's like, oh, we prepared over the weekend. That's it?
There you go.
That's
official sources say they prepared over the weekend.
That's your explanation.
By the way, I saw some dumbass on the news last night, a clip of a guy saying like, he's like, people are spreading misinformation right now about how they're out of water. He's like, they are not out of water. And then it cuts to literally the live footage of the person who's at the scene of the fires, who just talked to the fire people, and they're like, I know you're on a little bit of a delay, so you can't really hear us. Tell us what's going on over there. She's like, we are out of water over here.
That was the main complaint.
It was the
That
best.
was the main complaint. Everyone's getting the fire hydrants, and they're like, yeah, we don't have water in this. The pressure's so low that we can't put these fires out.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
But by the way, all these fire hydrants are right by the water, so it's inexcusable.
It's crazy.
You know what's the most annoying thing is all these people that are posting photos of the map, and they're going, you want some water? And they circle the ocean.
That's fucking hilarious.
And it's like, Okay, okay, you go get it
you go
then.
get
Why didn't we think of that?
You go get that ocean
but
water.
why are these systems? Why are these systems that exist right now not, able to source some of that fucking water like into their system?
You know what the sad shit is? That water is actually coming all the way from Vegas.
That's fucking
Right.
Doesn't it come down from the river?
Colorado.
Yeah. It's Lake Mead. It's the fucking dam, like the Hoover Dam. That's where it's coming from. And it's like, why do we need? We have a horrible catchment system because we are always in a drought because we don't catch the water when we get rain. When we could,
Because we dump it into the ocean.
we dump it straight, and we even release because we need to save the fish or whatever. We just have to release, and then it's like, yeah, but a lot of the times it's a state money-making racket. And I learned that a lot of different states, they have their own way of getting money from the federal government.
How does that money-making racket work with the water?
The water is like, well, when you're in a state of emergency or like when you need funding and aid, right? You can push and be prioritized for like
Emergency funding.
right? Emergency, whatever. Just like what's happening now. The federal government is gonna now give 180 days worth of. They're gonna pay for the firefighters. They're gonna do this, but the way that they package it is always on the surface. This is for the betterment of people. But what really goes on is when you start seeing where the money goes, or a lot of the times you can't audit them because it disappears. It always happens in government. Like the Pentagon lost $3 trillion worth of money. There's like
It's a new fee.
yeah, but like this, like let's say like they have the rail pitch going on. Everyone goes, yeah, let's do the rail, right? And then they're like, okay, it's time to pay. There's so much kickbacks. There's so many fees. There's so many. Oh wait, well we gotta get this company. It's all these people like hooking up their friends, and then when it comes time to audit, they're like, oh well, I don't know where the bill went. I don't know. There's like hella
Or the office got burned down.
yeah. There's like, what do you call it when there's uncountable like receive, like not accounts receivable but the payable, where they cut millions and millions of dollars every year and they just can't account for where it went. Yeah.
I remember there was a report. I'm trying to find the article right now. I saw a bunch of articles about how maybe 2 weeks ago they're asking Gavin Newsom like, what the fuck has happened to like $26 billion in the California budget, and it's unaccounted for. And I was seeing all these.
$26 billion is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, you see all these stories. I don't hear really anybody talk about it. And then, sure enough, something like this happens. So it's just like the same stories you hear over and over and over again about how all the money that's supposed to be for the people gets pushed back to the top officials. And it's like you keep getting proof of it wherever you go in California.
I would rather hear that every single construction worker got paid $1 million each to do a road. I seriously would. I'd rather hear that than like what obviously is happening, which is just complete fraud.
So what do you think is the reigning conspiracy theory that the family that controls all the water and stuff like that is getting government subsidies because they drained it out knowing that a natural disaster like this would happen?
Oh, I didn't get that far. I just know that one family controls it
Yeah,
all.
that one is explaining why we don't have water, but we need it. So I think what happened was they held like some private meeting with like a bunch of public officials a while ago, maybe like 3 or 4 decades ago. And originally it used to be, I think the priority was, in a case of an emergency, the water goes to the urban cities first, right? Because it makes sense. You got to put out the fires or whatever.
Yeah.
But they, through their meeting, they're able to rewrite it. So the legislation shows that in a case of an emergency, water goes to the farms first, which benefits them because they're an agricultural family. And then so when the city needs water, they have to buy it from them. So they actually own the water. So if there's a state of emergency, they have to buy water from this family. The other thing is, this family also trade water like stocks. So you know how when you have like, oh, your Bank of America has like this much money in there? It technically doesn't. All the money we put in there is FDIC insured, but they're investing it on their own.
Are you talking about fractional reserve banking right now?
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking
That's what
about.
that is.
But they're doing that with water, so they call it paper water.
Yeah.
So they're promising, yeah, we have this much water on paper, but they really don't have that much water.
It's like a bank run.
So they're just moving, exactly. So they're moving water around with numbers, not necessarily backing up how much water is on paper.
We should really just.
Which is why when we need water, like, okay, here's the water. Can I buy this water from you? They're like, we actually can't right now.
24 special forces dudes and just take control of that water? What are we doing here?
They should just put water on the blockchain so we could.
We need bit water, dude. Yeah, water coin.
One of the conspiracies
Fuck, man. It's crazy.
about the water controlling the aqueducts in the water system here in California. So, you know about the internment camps of Japanese Americans.
Yeah.
So like one of the industries for Japanese coming down was farming. So you started off as like picking strawberries, whatever, and then eventually a lot of Japanese people started owning farms. And then a lot of them were like, well, we should own the water too. So they started owning a lot of the aqueducts, and they wanted to just like, you know, expand their business. World War II comes along, and guess what? You have to now evacuate, and you have to go to an internment camp. What do you do with your belongings? A lot of people, including a lot of my relatives, if they didn't have a friend that would just take care of their place, they had to just dump
Give
it.
it up.
They had to dump it.
Yeah.
Fire sale. So a lot of people were taking advantage of, you know, real estate, whatever. They're like, let's go buy this Jap house, whatever.
So who was picking up these farms and these aqueducts?
Exactly. So that's one of the arguments that a lot of people make. It's like, hey, we didn't get our aqueducts back. Like the families that were like, we would have been fucking billionaires now. That family wouldn't have been the family that controls all the aqueducts in California.
So you're saying the family that controls the aqueducts here now bombed us at Pearl Harbor?
No, that family's a white family. What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
They stole from the Japanese.
Yeah, the
guys.
white family stole from the Japanese.
That's what I'm saying. They blamed it on the Japanese.
Oh, I see. 4D chess. I see. I see.
4D check.
Oh, that's 40 chess for sure.
40 chest, dude.
That's crazy levels.
Damn, I've never heard that before.
Yeah.
Well, not even one time.
All I'm saying is if you follow 9/11 like I do,
You could read between the lines.